guys, Zom's Effects here with blonde hair now. My friend Audrey dyed my hair for me, so now I'm blonde, and I have short hair and it is growing out because it's been a long time since I've done a video. In the midst of all this, I decided to do a tutorial on doing Jill Valentine from Resident Evil 3 2020, which is like a grayscale kind of thing. My boyfriend also surprised me with new palettes, so he got me the Jeffree Star Blue Blood, he got me the Conspiracy palette, and he got me the Bloodlust palette. I'm gonna be using the Cremated palette for it because that one is all the gray tones in it, and it's also on a bigger scale of it. I'm also going to be doing a Q&A on this. I'm gonna be answering questions while I'm doing the look, so bear with me not rambling on this time. Probably a lot of the stuff I'll be rambling on about. Let's get started. So first I'm gonna be using a very cheap grease paint I got from Walmart forever ago, and we're just gonna take a beauty sponge. Mine looks like I chewed off the top of it, but we're gonna be taking that and we're just gonna be putting it all over our face. Take off your nose rings as well, guys. Don't be mean. So one of the first questions was, what got you into special effects makeup? I got into special effects makeup mostly because I love art and art itself. I also like turning people into creatures. I love to draw, so I'm usually drawing like demonic characters half the time. And it's actually really cool what you can use to do it on people. And now also for something like this, you could also use a cream paint. I'm just using a grease paint because this is all I have available to me. So you could use Mehron Clown White. We're gonna make ourselves mostly ghostly. Another question that I got was, how long have you been doing special effects makeup for professionally? Joke on that matter is, I'm not professional. So professional, but I'm experienced. So technically it's been on and off since I was a kid of just drawing on myself. So me being serious about it was a good couple of years. I decided to open up an Instagram page and do all that. Another question that I got. Next question. How old are you? 25? I just turned 25. Alright, so we're just gonna dab this all in. It is gonna be kind of patchy, but we'll fix that later. Next question. Favorite movie? Believe it or not, Sinister was one of my favorite kind of movies, but Annabelle Creation as of right now is my favorite because of the demon and how scary that was. Alright, so we're gonna use a setting powder, a white one or a translucent one. So I'm gonna be going in with this one, which is the Air Spun. It's like $5. It's actually very cheap. Gets everywhere. And you're just gonna set your whole face. Oh, I got up my nose. You're just gonna set your whole face so that way the grease paint doesn't move. It probably will though, but it's okay because we got this. So now that you're as pale as a ghost, or looking like me normally because of quarantine, we're gonna take the Cremated palette. So as you can see, it has all gray scales in it. So we're gonna be taking probably one of the lighter shades. I'm gonna take any kind of fluffy brush. We're gonna take Wednesday and we're just gonna put it right into there. So we're gonna be placing Wednesday. Hi, Teddy. We're gonna be placing Wednesday into, this is only gonna be like parts of like, Teddy. Teddy. Hi, Teddy. This is my cat. So we're gonna be taking Wednesday and we're just gonna be going into like one of the, just into like sink in some of the parts, and just, the only thing is that with this kind of look, it's more of like a one-way kind of picture. Like you can only look at it one direction or one certain direction because the lighting is only in one spot. So we're just gonna be putting this in all the areas that it shows in the reference picture itself. Next question I got was, did you always want to be a special effects makeup artist when you were growing up? Originally, I wanted to do tattoos, and I always told my dad that if tattooing does not work out for me, I want to work in a morgue, you know, and just be the creep that I am. But turns to find out is that you get to see like babies and all that, and I don't think I would be able to handle that. When I got out of high school, I got my apprenticeship at Silver on the Mountain Tattoo. The place doesn't exist anymore, and I was under an apprenticeship under this one guy. and little did I know that it was going to be a mess. Basically, when you have an apprenticeship with a tattoo artist, you're basically learning under their wing and how they were taught, and that's what he was telling me. So some tattoo artists make you pay for it, some of them you need to have a certain degree in it, some places you don't. And the way everything was set up there wasn't worth it. After all that, Halloween came around one year and they had these really cheap prosthetics and they were always so much money, so I ended up just drawing on myself and being like, if I can paint this on me, then maybe it'll be good. So I tried copying a lot of the prosthetics that were on there. I ended up thinking it was weird. When I started dating my current boyfriend, I ended up getting back into it, found videos on YouTube of like Jordan Hans and all that, and I didn't really feel like a weirdo anymore. Of course you guys are fighting. And I started to get serious with it because I actually had more fun doing that. So in the midst of me wanting to do tattoos and me going around from shop to shop trying to figure out how I'm gonna make this happen, either learning by myself or getting an apprenticeship or working to get an apprenticeship. So I ended up having more fun drawing on myself and turning myself into characters that I've been drawing and turning other people into it and making like household things like making liquid latex out of certain things, making scar wax out of Vaseline. Scar wax sucks, I hate it. And going through all that. Alright, so we're gonna take Rest in Peace, which is a darker shade, and we're just gonna be running that along here and just gonna tap it in because this is gonna be where it's gonna be a little bit more darker because she has like scab stuff. I just ended up just being more happy with doing all of that. It ended up being probably one of the best decisions I've ever made because I never knew that I could sit here and turn myself into freaking other people with just household objects, which is insane because this is fun. Not washing the paint off, but it's fun. It's very satisfying. And this is just taking Rest in Peace all around here and just tapping it through just to give it some kind of texture of like nasty skin. Alright, so we're going to take Death Blow, which is the pure white, and we're just going to go over some parts right here, just to mark out where some of her highlighted points are. Next question. What is your favorite special effects look? I think my I have too many favorites that I've actually became proud of. So we're taking solemnly swear, and this is just going to darken some areas as well, and this is just going off of the reference. I think my favorite at the time when I first started was probably the Carl one that I did with one eye because that eye came out so good, and then Venom became my favorite because the amount of detail that came into it. I was so proud of myself at the time. And then I think another one that actually became my favorite was the blue and pink zombie demon, but now I think my most favorite is probably the Ouija board demon because that one actually came out pretty decent as well. I don't know, I don't think I have like a most favorite, which sucks because I get asked that question a lot. This is gonna look weird until I put my hair down. Next question. How was quarantine? I worked. I'm extremely grateful I still have my job, but days that I had off, I was painting COVID-19 masks and making dream catchers, which I still do when they're on back order. And this is just me using solemnly swear. Next question. What are your fears? Like, my main fear? Bees. Terrified. Deathly freaking terrified of bees. If you ask any of my friends, they will tell you that how people are against cockroaches, that's how I am with bees. I will not step out of the car if there's a bee. I don't care if my life even depended on it. They are vicious. Nope. No bueno. Oh, and I don't like needles. We're gonna take hers, which is the darker black, and we're just gonna be putting this in to where we built up. And I think I'm gonna use a little bit of a bigger brush just to be putting it through. So when I originally did this look, I had my brown hair. This is just gonna add some texture to, this looks like I'm just doing some kind of like negative, you know that negative challenge? I feel like I'm doing that all over again. You know what I mean. And this is just me taking all of the same three colors and putting it in there. So in the picture, this eye is black and this one is kind of dark as well, but this one I'm gonna be putting contact in. So this one I'm not gonna be touching yet. So we're basically just mimicking the picture. Next question. How long does it take for you to make a mask, or what is your longest like face painting? Longest time it took me to make a mask, that ranges from, let's see, so the Inosuke mask took 3 weeks. That one actually took so long because I was supposed to finish it by Halloween and I ended up jumping the time frame. So I'm just taking hers, by the way. I'm just taking hers, so I'm just going into my eye socket on this side. I ended up jumping the time frame on it thinking that it wasn't going to take very long for it, but honestly that one took so much time, and I had a concert to go to too, and I was supposed to do that, and it just was such a long process. So that's probably the longest time it took took me to do a mask. I think the shortest time it took me to make a mask would be a day. Like my skin mask took me about an hour. Hollow mask, that one took me about 20 minutes. Now body paint time, I think the longest I've spent on a body painting probably be about 12 to 13 hours because I get so lost into doing the detail. So that would be the Venom painting took about 8 hours. I took about 12 hours on the skeleton that I did because I had that's all dots. That was extremely brutal for me. And I had to color the prop for it, the flower that goes in like that. I had to color that in and make it all pointy. And I think the quickest painting I've ever done was be the skeleton mouth that I did for Halloween. It took me under about 2 minutes to do because I just drew it on my eyeliner. That one wasn't really as bad as I thought it was going to be. It actually came out pretty decent, I'm not gonna lie. My friend Steven was just like, bro, what are you doing? And I'm just like, I did a skeleton mouth. He was just like, that was quick. I'm like, yeah, you just use eyeliner. So I'm just going into areas that are darker, and I'm taking Rest in Peace and Wednesday, and I'm just going over these parts right here just to fuse these two together because these aren't going to be as white as this side is going to be. Taking Wednesday over here. I'm going to take a smaller brush, one preferably like this one, and it's a little bit fluffy too. We're going to go into Hearse, go right into here and just tap it in and just make a little weird looking shape, just like little tiny dots because that's where some parts of the skin is torn up. And we're going to highlight that later. And we're going to take this one. We're going to go into Wednesday. We're just going to dot around a little bit right there because that's where the boils are going to be at. We're going to take hers. We're going to map out where she's scratched up at. That's where she has a scratch at. Or her skin cracking. We're going to mark that out later with black paint from the Mehron Paradise palette. We're going to go in some more into the face and then I'm going to put my contact in. Taking life insurance. I'm going to brush this over the bridge of my nose. She has a little bit of black here. So I got my contact in. Okay, so now I'm going to take hers and I'm just going to go into my eyebrows with it. So you're just going to fill out your eyebrows how you normally fill them out anyway. Oh, that's a strong eyebrow. Okay. Alright, cool. Alright, so next question. Has 2020 been good to you? So I got sponsored. I got sponsored by Total Nightmare Travis on Instagram, which I am extremely grateful for because it means that somebody's actually noticing my work and stuff. Basically, like I'll be getting stuff like sent to me. Like I'll be getting paint prop, liquid latex. So I use maximum impact latex. I got about 2 jars of these and honestly like my favorite latex to use. They always have a sale going on, which is awesome. They have UV light ones. So, but there's gonna be a lot more looks coming up, especially because I got a lot of stuff in the mail. I'm honestly so stoked. I'm extremely grateful for it. Besides that, it's like, you know, I've been keeping myself busy with, you know, doing the COVID-19 masks. I've been busy doing work with like my dream catchers. But yeah, I've been keeping busy. It's been pretty good to me. Besides like the whole thing going on, all in out. I mean, I'm in Florida, so you know how Florida is right now. Alright, so we're just gonna wing this out because you have a bone kind of right in there, and this has to go into the cheek right here, a little bit on there. So she has a different facial structure than I do. So when it comes down to facial structures, it's kind of, I look kind of creepy. Hi. We told you to act normal. But I'm gonna take Rest in Peace. Just gonna put this into here. It's gonna go right through there. So we're going to take hers again, and we're just going to put where her markings are. So she has one right here, shaped like that. There's one right here. And she has a whole bunch of veinage going on right here, but I could use the black paint for that. So, alright, so I'm going to take like a detailed brush, kind of, like a tiny kit brush, and I'm just going to go into like some parts into here. So on her chest a little bit, she has one part in here that has... She has the black spot in Teddy. So she has a wound right in here. She also has it over here, where it's like her skin is also doing the thing with it. Next question. What inspires you to do your makeup? Well, I mean a lot of things honestly do it. So I watch a lot of anime. So it's like a lot of animes that I watch are all like the bloody kind. So you got like vampires, you got like all like the nasty, gruesome stuff going on. The screwed up animes kind of thing, you know? A lot of the monsters and like the characters give me a lot of inspiration about it. I also listen to a lot of music, so some of the lyrics will get me into something, or maybe I'll be on Instagram and a lot of the stuff that I see on there, I'll be inspired by it or want to try and twist it around. Like, I give credit when credit's due. Maybe I just seen a drawing that somebody else did. It's just a lot of multiple things that get me inspired by it. Or maybe like I watched like a movie or something and there was a monster in there that I kind of want to try and recreate. Like the guy from Dark Floors. I wish I could recreate him. He is so cool looking. Oh my god. So I'm gonna take that really tiny brush again and I'm just gonna go up into this area. I'm just gonna go through here again. Okay, my camera overheated. But, so I'm gonna go black into my eyes with the black paint from my Mehron palette. So I got a new one from my boyfriend because as you can see from my other videos, oh boy. So I'm gonna be using the rest of the blacks in this one for now, and then yeah, you'll be seeing the new one soon. So I'm gonna take the black paint and I'm just gonna go into my eyes with it. In every video that I do this in, you already know that you just have to not get it in your eye, and then you have to set it with black eyeshadow later. Just if you don't have black eyeshadow, you already know the deal. You could just use setting powder. It doesn't matter. So I'm gonna be putting hers from the Cremated palette on there. And then we're also going to take hers later. Just going to bring it out underneath here. Bring it out as well. Look like I'm getting ready for a concert. Now that that's done, we're going to be taking a small brush with the black paint. My phone doesn't recognize me. It means I'm doing a good job. Oh yeah, next question. Next question. What was your favorite video game and did you ever do a look on it? I guess I have some video games I like to play. So, my favorite game as of right now is Doom Eternal. No, I have not done a look based on that. I don't think it's possible to do any of those characters unless like I'm full, like, well, I mean, yeah, maybe some characters you might be able to. I don't think I'll be able to do a character off of there. That'd be pretty terrifying if I could though. You know what, maybe I might be able to one day. But that's honestly probably one of my favorite games for right now because I've been playing The Last of Us and The Last of Us was pretty cool. The Last of Us 1 was a pretty good game, but it was my favorite until I played Doom Eternal. And then now I'm playing The Last of Us 2 and I haven't really been feeling it too much. I just, you know, if you played it, you'll know why. Like, you'll understand where I'm coming from with it. So to answer your question, no, I haven't done a look off of it, but Doom is my favorite. Doom Eternal. You thought I was gonna say Star Wars. No, I do have a favorite Star Wars game though. I'm gonna take the regular brush and just go in with this too. Because she does have a couple of weird markings in here as well. Taking gray face paint. Gonna make a couple of dark dots there. Gonna add some veins. Next question. What is your zodiac? I am a Taurus. Hard-headed and all. Pain in the butt. Not easy to really get along with. Easy to get along with. Okay, maybe I'm not easy to get along with. You know what? I am easy to get along with. You can't tell me I'm not. Take the black face paint because I don't have, you know, black lipstick. But if you do, that would work out as well because I wear lipstick. And I am going to overline my lips slightly to give myself some lips. So you're just going to have your lips like you normally have them or how you would normally do them. It's going to go a little bit more in with the grays and stuff, and then we're going to start doing the highlighting. So with the grays, I'm going to go more to this side because she does have a lot of shadows and a lot of darkening over there. And then when we add the highlights to it, you'll be able to see what I'm trying to do. But what we're going to do is we're going to take RIP and we're going to take Solemnly Swear. I'm just going to go over that, you know, add some depth to it at least. And then with the highlight, it's going to be a little bit more different. I am going to go over this over here with hers. And I'm just going to tap it on there just to give it some kind of shadow. And because, you know, the black paint kind of just looks like it was slandered on there because that's all I did. Next question. Did you ever play Resident Evil or are you just doing it because of the character? So I played Resident Evil, not all of them. Honestly, to begin with, I hated Resident Evil to a certain extent. I didn't like the movies very much. I used to like the movies until like it got repetitive and annoying, and the games, it was just too hard for me, and I'm a big baby, so I just never really played them. My boyfriend, however, he played Resident Evil 2, and I think that was his favorite one, he said. But when that one came out as like a remake, he was like, oh my god, Leon, and I'm just like, oh god, the AIs are gonna suck. But the only Resident Evil game I played and actually wanted to play was the Biohazard one, the last one that came out, where it was like first person. That one was actually pretty cool. And then the actual one that I actually played and beat was Resident Evil 3, which honestly is like my favorite one because of Nemesis. Nemesis is really cool. That's basically all I did. And I guess you could say I played the other ones too, but that was mostly like me and my boyfriend playing with each other on the game and stuff. But, and then I also saw these kind of pictures too, and I actually thought it was pretty cool. But I did play the game. I did play the game. Gonna contour as well a little bit, my chubby cheeks. Next question. What kind of music do you listen to? Everything except jazz. I don't listen to jazz music, but I try to stay open to new music. But I normally listen to a lot of rock. I listen to mostly anything. My stuff will probably end up going from country music to instant rapping to everything else. First I'm gonna add Solemnly Swear down to here, and then I'm gonna get a smaller, little tinier brush maybe if I can. You know, I know I have a tinier brush in here. Don't tell me I don't. I know what I got. So we're gonna take Death Blow, and we're just gonna go over some parts down here. I'm gonna add on to here. So these white marks are gonna be the bubbles as well. Your skin, you know, being nasty and decaying and all that. And then this is just gonna be the some parts of it. Next question. Do you ever scare anybody, or do you ever have any problems in your relationships with this? I do scare some people. I'll get some people that like will be like my coworkers or like somebody that never knew that I do any of this stuff, and they're just like, oh, okay. And I'm just like, yeah, I kinda, you know. But other than that, it's not like as like bad as like people would make it seem. I actually have very, very supportive friends with it and everything, so they don't really freak out. Crazy, because like when I'm not there, I hear people like sit here and talk about me about it, and it's like good stuff, and they'll like promote me into it, and I'm like, you guys are great. Like, this is crazy. I appreciate every single one of you people. And yeah, my boyfriend's very supportive of it. He criticizes me when he feels like I could have done better. He helps me out with looks too. He used to even take my pictures for me. Even if it was something that probably would have like given him the creeps or something, he would have taken the picture for me. And it's great because I didn't have a tripod at the time, so he'll sit there and tell me how to pose and tell me what angles and stuff, and like make jokes with me. But I had some parts where I did creep people out, and I've had the cops called on me a couple times, but those are like my neighbors. When I used to live with my parents and stuff, I had the cops called on me one time. It's pretty cool. We're gonna take the gray. I'm gonna use the gray from my new palette. So I told you this one's better look. So I'm gonna use the gray because I ran out of gray on my other one. And I'm basically just gonna be adding more veins into here. We're gonna be adding veins into here. Is it harder to paint yourself or somebody else? What do you find most difficult? To be honest, I think painting myself is easier because I know how I am. So I know facial structure, I don't know, stuff like that. So it's kind of like a little bit more easier for me to paint myself, but sometimes it could be easier to paint somebody else as well. So me personally, I have hooded eyes. So basically like the skin right here, like when I put my eyebrows down, you can't see any kind of design or cut crease that I did on my eyes. With that being said, I have to do a little bit more work or go higher up for my eye shape. Now, my friend Soul Taker, she has protruded eyes. Like hers are more, she has eyelids. Like she basically has eyes. Like she doesn't have extra skin on her eyes. So it's fun doing makeup on her. You don't have to worry about having like a tiny brush to get into your eye sockets, you know. But sometimes it's also very hard to do makeup on somebody else because you gotta try and find out their bone structure, because you gotta feel around on their face and find out where their bone structure is, you know. And I'm still learning as I go because I haven't really done many people yet. Just to answer the question, I think it's harder to do it on other people with certain designs. Next question. Do you have anybody else that's into makeup? I don't really have like friends in my area that are into into like special effects. I have friends that are actually into like more of like glam makeup than anything. They know about the cut creases, they know about the foundation. Like I go to them to like help me find out what my shade is because I can't figure out my own stuff because I am just a big baby. But I go to them mostly when like I need help with like trying to get like a glam look going on. None of them are really like into like what I do, I guess so to speak. I'm technically the only one that does special effects. Now, I'm into a group called Phantasmagoria Circus on Instagram. It's really cool because like I have like a whole community that I'm part of online, and it's like you can go to them as well for like any work that you need help on. Honestly, I'm the only one physically where I'm at right now that I know out of my friends that I do special effects makeup. Okay, so I use the gray, but I basically just went into like the sides into here and I basically just added like little veinage and stuff because that's what she has around here due to the infection. I'm gonna take a white cream paint. It's a really cheap one that I got from Walmart forever ago, and I've just been using it, and it's like this small little tube. So I'm basically just gonna be going over certain areas. So wherever she has a highlight at, so she has a highlight here, does one on here, just to highlight that out. Her skin also does gleam a little bit right here. It sits so nice on the skin in certain areas. Just gonna tap that out. So I'm just going to go into the circles too in here and make this kind of messy right here. That's also where the skin kind of, you know, does the thing. And then also going to add some dots into here as well because that's technically where the skin is like shiny. Like, you know, when you have it all gross, it's just gross, you know. I'm going to add some dots into there just to make it look like it's shiny a bit. Okay, so now I think I'm completely finished. I think I'm finished. I don't think, yeah, I'm not going to darken that as much as I wanted to. Nah, I'm not gonna darken that. This is the finished look. Thanks guys, see you in the next video.